I was actually I was filling in for Jillian one day on Good Day LA.
Yes.
And I don't know if you remember this, because you talked to so many people across the country, but this was a couple of years ago, and I had just hired a financial manager because I have been one of those people, like many, who, I'm not in control of my money, or I was never. I didn't start at 20, like you said. I wish to God I had. But anyway, it's a pleasure and an honor to meet you.
What did I tell you back then?
You said you wanted to just like shake me, I think, across the camera. You're like, listen, you need to know exactly what's going on with your money, because I just had hooked up with a financial advisor, and I didn't know. And
do you still have the same guy?
I do. He came very highly recommended.
All right, so he was honest and he was good and he's done well for you.
He has. The market hasn't been very good.
Right. Yeah.
So basically, he's been very safe and conservative with my money, and it's.
Here's the true bottom line. If you find a good financial advisor, they are worth your weight in gold.
Yes.
And you should tell everybody about them. The problem is people don't really know if they have a good financial advisor or not, because they're not looking at their statements. They're not figuring out, I see my balance going up, but I put in that money, so I'm really staying the same. So am I making money, am I not? So just saying.
I know. I'm going to get to that point in just a second, but I want to introduce you to what we call the Google Plus Hangout. Have you heard of? You're very in touch with social media.
I have to tell you the truth. I've tried Google Plus. I don't quite get it. So introduce me to it.
You're not the only one,
yeah.
And I'm still learning myself. Now I'm hearing about 100 million registered users on Google Plus, so they're catching up to some of the other biggies that are out there, and they're hoping to get to about 400 million. And basically, to me, the best way I could explain it is kind of like Facebook marrying Skype, and that you can have
great.
Yes, you have what we call a Hangout here. And you can have a maximum of about 10 people in your Hangout to talk to, and they're coming from all over the world, by the way, our daily Hangout. So there's somebody from Brazil right now, somebody is from the UK, I think Robert is from Rhode Island, and
I love that.
The feature that is really great about this Google Plus is that you can broadcast on air, meaning potentially what we're talking about here. And Shaka, he is our guru here at work.
Hi, Shaka.
He's going to record this. Well, actually, right now, it could be being broadcast to the almost 100 people, 100 million people, rather. And
Shaka, when I move here, I'm going to have to move in, and you're going to have to show me how to do this, and we should have a little Suze Orman show on Google+.
If I was there this morning, I would so give you my business card so we can hook that up.
Sweetheart, I'm not kidding with you.
Do you think I am? I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
Me too, Shaka. Me too.
Oh, see, there you go. So we need to connect this. We need to hook this up.
You're gonna hear from us tomorrow.
Okay, we'll hook you
up. Heather has my email. We'll connect.
Thank you, sir.
But this is
my
a
pleasure.
Very casual, very informal interview. It's kind of a behind-the-scenes look at what we do here in the newsroom, and also the opportunity to talk to people like you who have a message and a good one. So. If you're just joining us, my name is Maria Quiban. We are broadcasting from the Fox 11 newsroom here in Los Angeles, and with me is the financial expert, Suze Orman.
The one and only.
The one and only. Oh my goodness! Watch her show. I've followed you from Oprah to all the different appearances you've had, and now you have your own show on the.
It's called American Money Class. So, and for all of you might want to try this, but it's only for the United States.
Oh, it is only for the U.S.
On Monday, February 13th, what we're going to have is, after the show, you have 24 hours to go on to Oprah.com. Listen to me, everybody, or you want to win money. Here's how you're going to win money. All you have to do is answer the questions that are on an exam. They're easy. I did the exam. If you pass...
It's easy for you.
No, they're seriously easy.
Okay.
Because I want you all to pass. I want you to win money. And you're entered into a contest, and one person will win $50,000. 5 people will win $5,000 each. My money. So come on, win Suze Orman's money.
I'm going to go on.
Tell you,
So this is on Monday.
Monday, February 13th. It's on 9 o'clock East Coast time. So that's 9 o'clock here as well, or 6 o'clock here. So it'll show twice. You have 24 hours. Go to Oprah.com. Check into that classroom. Take that exam. You never know. You may just exit that classroom $50,000 with it.
You never know. Okay, I'm going to open up the questions for Suze to everybody in the Hangout. Does anyone have a question? Who wants to go first? Robert, go ahead. This is
So
Robert.
I have two things to say. If I do win the money, and I will play for the money because the 13th, the Madonna tickets are going on sale. If I win the money, I'm going to go see Madonna.
There you go. Do
That's all
something smart with that money. That's good, Robert. Do something smart with it. Woo-hoo.
So here's my question for you. I'm an entrepreneur, and as an entrepreneur, I've always heard the sort of ism that you should invest in yourself, and that's important. My question to you is, when you look at a portfolio, what percentage, as an entrepreneur, what percentage of my portfolio would you suggest that I go with old school investments in the market versus what I actually invest in myself or my business?
I'd be very careful about investing in myself for my own business. And the reason is, if that investment, Robert, happens to go down, you try something, it doesn't work out, now you don't have any money, and now you have nothing to fall back on. So the real question back to you is, number one, is this an investment in a business that is already successful, or is this an investment in a startup that you think is going to be successful for yourself? What's the answer?
It's been both historically. So I've invested in myself on the standpoint of a startup, and I've invested in myself or my wife's business in that case of an ongoing concern. So there's sort of...
And have you ever failed at any of those?
I have failed spectacularly. I made $22 million in 18 months and spent 23. So
and that's the point. So you're going to have to make a decision as to, are you smarter off in the long run if you do invest in yourself, or are you better off letting somebody else invest their money, or you taking out a loan that you could possibly bankrupt, my love, and you keeping your cash for a safety net? You'll have to decide that for yourself.
Great advice. Thank you so much.
No, anytime.
Okay, who's next? Let's see. Kim, you have a question, yes?
Yes, I have a question. It's been told to entrepreneurs over and over to have multiple streams of income. And in having multiple streams of income, what are some ideals that you could give us to create those multiple streams of income?
Well, it depends on your actual talent. So when you say you're an entrepreneur, what is it that you like to do?
I have a business where I manage and coach about social media and WordPress website development.
And so is there any offshoot from that business that you could actually create to give you another stream of income?
Yes, ebooks, writing ebooks, offering to train people to do what I do so they can start their own business.
Here's what I would do if I were you. I would take a big chart out, and I would write every possible source of income that you yourself could create. Is it ebooks? Is it this? Is it that? And put them in a row. Then you need to do the priorities of which one of these things could you do and be most successful with the quickest with the least amount of capital invested. Because it's which of these things can you get up and running where it doesn't cost you anything, so if it doesn't cost you anything, you don't really care if it fails. So you do this, like, so for me, for instance, I do books, I do magazines, I do TV. I don't just do one TV, I do 3 TVs. I do CNBC, I do the Oprah Winfrey Network, I do PBS, I do QVC. I don't write just one book, I've written many books. Do you see what I mean? I speak, I go across the country. I do it everywhere, so that if all of a sudden somebody says, Suze Orman, I don't like you anymore, I'm not going to ever buy a book, it's okay, but maybe you can watch me on TV. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's
yes.
what you do, girlfriend.
Susie,
I love it.
Is it too much? I mean, how do you balance all that in your day? I mean, seriously, how do you have fun? How do you decompress? Because it's all work, work, work,
No,
all money,
no.
money, money.
Here's the thing. When you look at your life and you have one foot in one boat, that's your life. And then you have another foot in another boat, and that's your business. If those boats start to separate, you're going to fall in the water. So if you had both feet in one boat, my life is my business. I love my life. I love what I do. So if there's too much on my plate, I just get a bigger plate.
Okay.
I also do not multitask. I believe forever, and listen to me, everybody, multitasking is the ruination of perfection. The reason that we don't get anything done is we're doing little things all along. Now, you would think Suze Orman, who it's a multi-million-dollar empire every year, it can go as high as $100 million sometimes in a year, you would think I have an assistant, wouldn't you?
I would think so.
I do not. I don't have an assistant. I do not have any secretary. I do not have, I have no employees whatsoever. And I have found over the years that it takes me more time to have called Kristen, my assistant, to say, book this plane. She would book a plane. She would then have to call me back, and then I will already have changed my mind. Then I would have to call her.
So you do everything
I do.
yourself.
I book my own cars. I book my own air flights. I'm the one when somebody calls for an interview, I book my own time. I keep my own calendar. I do it all. And because I do it all, I'm in control of all of it. And it takes no time whatsoever. I think everybody can't do anything because they have so many people that they're meeting with. They're telling what to do. I just do it all. You might want to think about that. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm inspired. Okay, who's got a question? Harold?
Yeah, I'm retired and I have a very limited income. One of the things that I decided to do was to store up a bunch of 6 months worth of food and things like that. What do you think about food storage and putting away money for retirement and stuff? Do you think food storage is a good idea for people who are retired?
No. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of times you're storing food right now with the prices of food being absolutely astronomical, number one. If you're storing food for at least 6 months, the food that you're storing could be money that you were using today to either invest, pay down credit card debt, pay off your mortgage, so that you would have a house that was paid off sooner versus food that you may or may not ever need. So I'm not somebody who just says, okay, let's make sure if all goes down that I have the food to eat. I'm somebody who says if all else goes down, I'm going to have the income to always buy my food. If all else goes down, I'm going to have a house that I'm able to live in, even if it's a rental, no matter what. So my question back to you would be, do you have at least 6 months or 8 months of an emergency fund set up in case something happens?
I have a little bit of money set up, but I do, like I said, I've sold on my big house, and I have a house payment now of $350. So I'm pretty good set for my house.
But if something were to happen to you, and you weren't, and I don't know, is that $350 a month? Is that property taxes? Is it everything else?
Yes, that's everything.
Is that a source of income that you're getting from your investment or from Social Security?
Well, I'm retired, so I basically get, let's say, I'm getting probably $1,500 a month on retirement, and my house payment is only $350. So I was wondering what to do with my extra money.
Yeah, boyfriend, I would not be putting it in food. I would storing up cash, because as you get older, on average, once you turn 70, we take about 17 prescription drugs. So do you have health insurance? What happens as you get older if you cannot take care of yourself? That food on the shelf isn't going to bring you food if you can't get up and get it. Might want to look into long-term care insurance if you can afford it.
So rule of thumb, 6 to 8 months.
8 months, 8 months to a year.
Oh my gosh, especially today.
Especially today.
I know you're a busy lady, so I'm gonna thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out with me and Suze Orman. Don't forget her show on Monday night.
Monday night, the finale of America's Money Class on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Obviously, the Suze Orman Show every Saturday night on CNBC. And my new book, The Money Class, which is now out in softback. Whatever you do, if you have debt, don't go buying one of my books. Go to the library and take it out. Take care of me, everybody.
And it's
Or you can now get it as an ebook.
Oh, yeah.
Library download that
That's
ebook.
your book in the library. You're absolutely.
Can we get a shot of you two?
Yes, yes. Let's take
Screenshot.
a quick picture before we go.
Let's make
Thank
it
you.
look good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, you guys.
Awesome.
And we'll get her on Google Plus as well. I know she's
Okay.
Yes.
I'm calling
Yeah.
you, Shaka.
giving it a
Please do.
so much for
Thanks.
stopping by.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate